All right, news now from Uttar Pradesh, where about 100 students who study in classes 1 to 8 in the government school in Mirzapur district were filmed eating rotis and salt as part of the midday meal scheme, a flagship central government scheme to provide lunch and proper nutrition to scores of children from poor families who study at government schools across the country. Now, the website of the UP Midday Meal Authority, the overseeing body for these meals in UP, describes an elaborate menu that is supposed to be served to children at government-run primary schools. It includes pulses, rice, rotis, vegetables, and even fruits and milk on certain days. However, as you can see in those images, those children were only eating roti and salt, and on other days, on other meals, they apparently get rice and salt.
क्या समस्या आ रहा है स्कूल में?
स्कूल में समस्या है कि सर कि यहाँ पर सही समय समय से भोजन नहीं मिल पावत था। कहियो नीमक रोटी मिलत बा, कहियो चावल नीमक मिलत बा। दूध आई तो 10 लीटर बटी, 10 लीटर के न बटी। केला आई तो थोड़ा 10 लीटर 12 लीटर मिलता, फिर केला भी घरे चल जात बा। यही कुछ समस्या बा।
ये समस्या कब से आ रहा है?
ये कम से कम समस्या साल भर से हो।
लेकिन लापरवाही जो टीचर के स्तर पर और जो सुपरवाइजरी अफसरों के स्तर पर हुई है, उसमें टीचर को हम लोगों ने निलंबित कर दिया है और एनपीआरसी और खंड शिक्षा अधिकारी का स्पष्टीकरण बीएसए द्वारा कॉल किया गया है और मैंने अपने स्तर से बीएसए से पूछा है कि आपके द्वारा इस तरह की लापरवाही क्यों की गई है।
All right, well, let's go across to Alok Pandey for more on this. Alok, absolutely shocking when, on the website and when you talk about these government schemes for midday meals, you expect the children to be getting proper nutrition, but that simply is not the case in this school where children are being served salt and rotis.
No, you're absolutely right, Karti. And the fact is that, unfortunately, even we in the media, we don't focus too much on these stories on nutrition, on how midday meals are progressing, because I'm sure this is not the story of just one school, but there are many across Uttar Pradesh and across the country where similar circumstances prevail. In this particular case, what is shocking is that the parents are suggesting that this has been the case for a full year now, and that it's not an isolated incident. They say that you either get roti plus namak, which is salt, or you get rice plus salt, and that hardly is any nutrition, because I was just going through the Uttar Pradesh midday meal website, and they say that their goal is to actually provide about 400 calories to each child per meal, and also those 400 calories should include 10 to 12 grams of protein, which is very important because these are poor children whose parents cannot afford to provide them the kind of nutrition that they deserve at that age, and that's why a lot of them end up facing a lot of problems in their life, including health problems. And that was the aim of the midday meal scheme, to ensure that not only do children attend school because of the anticipation of a good meal, but also the fact that they should get fortified nutrition in that meal that they get. Here, of course, nothing of that sort seems to be happening. And like I said, that while this is just a report on one school, the larger problem is that how midday meals are being distributed across the state and across the country, perhaps. There are private organizations that have taken up some part of distribution of midday meals, but then these are remote areas. For instance, this is Mirzapur. I mean, it's not that remote too. It's close to Varanasi, which is Mr. Modi's Lok Sabha constituency. But even so, these schools need a change.
Right. Alok, is this also a matter of corruption that the funds have been given under this scheme? However, when it reaches the children, finally, you find that, maybe funds have been diverted and the children are getting this basic food.
Well, I think that would absolutely be the case, because we heard that parent, he was speaking in Bhojpuri. We would have had translations on. He was saying that, you see, milk comes to the school. It's not that milk doesn't come. It's not that bananas don't come, but they all don't get distributed. And that is why perhaps 2 teachers have been suspended here. So while there are crores and crores of rupees that are being spent to provide these midday meals, in fact, the number of students who are benefiting right now, according to the UP government, benefiting in quotes, is over 1 crore students in their schools, and that would escalate the cost to a further few crores. And yet, if this is the state, then it needs serious introspection, perhaps, on part of the government and the officials who are handling this entire scheme for Uttar Pradesh.